Hello everyone, this is Donnie aka Elevated with another TI9 team preview, and this one is going to be talking about Fnatic. Fnatic's 2018-2019 DPC performance has been a tale of two teams. Fnatic came into the year as one of the best looking teams after the post-TI8 roster shuffle. In fact, many were calling them a true super team in the SEA region. An incredibly talented roster, plenty of experience, and one of the oldest and most prestigious organizations in all of esports backing them. And it started off pretty well, with a 7th to 8th place finish at the Kuala Lumpur Major. Maybe a bit of a disappointing finish because of the home crowd cheering for them, but ultimately nothing to be ashamed of, considering they were knocked out of the upper bracket by Virtus Pro and eliminated by Evil Geniuses. They improved on that performance at the second major of the season, taking 5th to 6th place in China. They even 2-0'd Liquid in the lower bracket before eventually losing to LGD. Fnatic continued to improve heading into the third major of the season at Dream League, where they took 3rd place, only losing in the upper bracket finals to Vici Gaming and the lower bracket finals to Virtus Pro, who they had previously 2-0'd in the first round of the upper bracket. Fnatic had all but secured their spot at TI9 heading into the 4th major of the season, the MDL major, and they once again made the qualifiers look easy, booking their ticket to Paris. But between the qualifiers and the actual event, something happened. Nobody knows quite what it was, because the Fnatic that showed up in Paris was not the same team. The names on the back of the jerseys were the same, but the players wearing them seemed to have lost all interest in playing the game. They finished last in their group, barely able to take a single game off of Complexity, and then immediately were eliminated in a best of one against Keen Gaming in the lower bracket. Everyone has off days from time to time, and even off tournaments, but it became clear that something was definitely wrong with Fnatic's roster at the final major of the season. They qualified for the Epicenter Major, but once again bombed out of the competition, tied for last place. Fnatic was unable to make the upper bracket from the easiest group at the event, and then were eliminated in spectacular fashion, losing to Forward Gaming 36-1 in a 30-minute game. A team that had looked dangerous and dynamic was now floundering to find any success at all, and looked completely lost and uncoordinated in the current meta. It was clear that a change was coming, even though TI was on the horizon, and shortly after Epicenter, MP, whose performance had looked particularly shaky, was removed from the team. Instead of scrambling to find a replacement, Fnatic decided to recruit from within, moving Jabs from hard support to safe lane and promoting Dubu from coach to the position 5. On paper, the move makes quite a bit of sense because the players already know each other, and Jabs, though having played mostly support for the last 2 years, is a former mid and carry player with a huge amount of talent that had felt somewhat wasted in the 5 role. Dubu is most famous for his play on the all-Korean MVP Phoenix and Immortals teams, and is still a very active, high MMR player. He is also a much more sacrificial player than Jabs is, and should slot into the 5 role much better because of that. It's hard to say without watching any games whether this iteration of Fnatic will be much stronger than the previous one, but the current meta of safe lane heroes definitely matches up better with the hero pool of Jabs than it did with MP. It will be interesting, however, to see how the team functions with a more dynamic player in the carry role, as MP had provided a sort of simple consistency to complement the flashier, high variance play of Abed and Ice Ice Ice. In the past, Jabs has also been known for this kind of similarly flashy play, and will likely have to dial it back a little bit to fulfill his job as the carry. He has had quite a bit of success in years gone by on many of the heroes that are looking to be very popular in the role, such as Ember Spirit, Naga, Alchemist, and Morphling. And Jabs' dynamic playstyle may end up benefiting Fnatic, making more space for Abed to actually carry games, and allowing them to play faster and more aggressive. If Fnatic are able to put the pieces together, they are definitely a threat to every other team attending TI9. The talent on this roster is undeniable, and they are no strangers to the big stage. Fnatic is likely to be one of the most difficult teams to draft against because of their wide variety of specialty heroes. Teams will have to pick their poison and decide whether they want to face the Abed Meepo, Tinker, or Arc Warden, or Ice Ice Ice's Pangolier or Timbersaw, or DJ's Shadow Shaman or Earthshaker. Ultimately, It will all come down to which Fnatic shows up, and whether they can find a consistent level of performance that has been severely lacking in the second half of the season. And hey, I heard last year that a team won after promoting their coach to the active roster.